I was enjoying my ice cream cone when I heard screaming and saw people running from a nearby bank. Most girls would run for safety, but I'm not like most girls. I ran toward the bank and saw a robber in a ski mask holding a hostage. Had to think fast. I pulled my hood over my head, hid my ice cream cone behind my back, and entered the bank. Nobody move. I'm robbing this place. The robber turned around, totally confused. This is awkward. I'm actually robbing this place. So no way. What a coincidence. Let's team up. Sorry, sister, I work alone. As the robber moved his gun toward me, I threw my ice cream, splattering it right in his face. Then I moved like lightning, grabbing his gun, pointing it at him, and he surrendered immediately. Hi, I'm Astrid, and all I've ever wanted to be is a hero. Fun fact. I'm actually the youngest girl to ever go through Navy SEAL training. Well, thanks to my military family. I'm the youngest girl of 5 brothers, all in the Marines. I know what you're thinking. Wow, that's military training in itself, right? And you'd be so right. But before I continue with my truly action-packed girl power story, please like and subscribe. Everyone was telling me how heroic I was. I felt amazing until I overheard one handsome guy in the crowd say, "Wow, she's amazing." Yeah, she's brave, but also stupid to put herself and others in danger. She should have let the police handle it. What was his deal? I turned toward that jerk to give him a piece of my mind, but a muscular hand grabbed my arm and pulled me away. My eyes sparkled with excitement when I realized that hand belonged to Aiden, my oldest brother's best friend from boot camp, and I totally had the biggest crush on him ever since I saw him hugging my brother at his graduation. Wow, Astrid. I was in the area and saw everything. Can I take you out for lunch? Pinch me because Aiden just asked me out on a date. Are you okay, sir? Yes, sir. I followed Aiden to a nearby park where he'd rented a rowboat for us. This was my notebook moment. Oh, minus the dying grandparents. I prepared myself for Aiden's love confession when he leaned in. I readied my lips. Now that we're alone, I wanted to offer you a job, on behalf of the president. What? I work in secret operations, and there's a job you'd be perfect for. Have you ever considered going undercover, like a spy? Not really. We've been chasing this exotic animal trader known as Wildcat Carla. We think she just stole a bunch of albino tigers from a nature preserve and wants to turn them into coats. What a monster. But wait, the president cares that much about animals. Actually, the president wants her in jail for other things as well, but they're top secret. We also discovered she's looking for a housekeeper, and we need to get you on the inside. So, you want me to pretend to be a housekeeper just to collect evidence on this Carla cat girl? Just because you're a girl doesn't mean you're good at cleaning. No, but I was raised by a military family, and I've been to your house. It's spotless. He had a point. We had a saying at home, cleanliness is close to godliness. We need a girl so it's not suspicious, especially one who can defend herself just in case. Someone I can trust completely. And it's only you who comes to mind. Mind equals blown. I wish I was closer to his heart than his mind. And if you're able to confirm that Carla has the tigers, we'll pay you $3 million. That wasn't a bad deal. I got the job easily, but when I showed up, I realized this place was a dump. No wonder no one else wanted this job. I turned a corner while cleaning when, crash. I slammed into one Mr. Tall, dark and handsome. To my shock, it was the same jerk who called me stupid after I saved all those people at the bank. Thankfully, he didn't recognize me. Then, this thirst trap started sneezing everywhere. Suddenly, Wildcat Carla came running in. What have you done, you stupid girl? My son Mason is highly allergic to dust. He sneezed right on Carla's face. I'll fix this. I grabbed Mason and ran to the bathroom, throwing him into the shower as fast as I could. As water poured down on us, Mason stopped sneezing. If he wasn't known as a jerk, or I was so worried about keeping my job, I would have considered this romantic. I turned off the water, but Mason kept blinking at me. You good? Yeah. You saved me. You can stay for now. And Carla disappeared back into the darkness. I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm just a housekeeper. But if I save a few lives, I guess that's a win-win. No, I mean about my mom. She can be a lot. Sure. You think I'm up for this? Why wouldn't I be? You look delicate, and it's a tough job. Then I grabbed him with one hand and pulled him to his feet in one swoop. Mason was floored, literally. How's that for delicate? I walked off like the awesome boss I am. The look on Mason's face told me he wouldn't make that mistake again. The next day, while sweeping, I saw Carla enter a suspicious warehouse on the edge of her property. I was just done setting up some microphones when... Well, if it isn't my hot housekeeper. I'm throwing a party here tonight, and I want you to clean it up for me, since you are my employee. Then, with a flip of his hair, he walked away before I could answer. I showed up to the party that night, with a new +1, my mop. Romantic, right? But Mason's friends were bigger jerks than he was. They started having mess-making contests and would force me to clean up after them, then make a mess all over again. You better stop, unless you want me to kick all of your butts. Before I could even wind up my fist, Mason snapped his fingers and security escorted those losers out. She is my housekeeper, not yours. Hello. I don't need you to fight my battles for me. I can clean up after myself. But as I stepped forward to give it to him, I slipped on a spilled drink and clumsily fell into Mason's arms. My face instantly flushed. Looks like you need to be a better housekeeper. Want to dance? Before I could reject him, this pretty girl pulled Mason away and started dancing with him. EW. Don't dance with the help. Dance with me. My stomach clenched. What a rude and privileged girl, but also... Oh no. Was this jealousy I was feeling? Stop it, Astrid. Don't get attached. Suddenly, this muscular dude came up to the two of them and pulled Mason away. That's my girlfriend, jerk. He threw a punch at Mason. Out of instinct I jumped in, blocked it, then flipped the bully onto a nearby table, shattering it. Mason looked at me like I was Wonder Woman. How did you do that? My parents taught me karate. Straight out of the womb. It wasn't a total lie. That was incredible. I want you to teach me how to fight just like that. Starting tomorrow. Wait, what? That night, I called Aiden and told him everything. Astrid, you can't get involved with Mason. His mother's a criminal. I'm not getting involved. I want you, dummy. Actually, that's not a bad idea. You should get Mason to fall in love with you. Maybe then he'll tell you his mother's secrets. I don't want to be his girlfriend. He called me stupid when I saved everyone at the bank. You're undercover, Astrid. This is your chance to get him back. Make him fall in love with you, and then show him who's really stupid. I guess he had a point. The next morning, Mason burst into my room as excited as a schoolgirl. Training time. Training time. It's Astrid's training time. Gosh, he was annoying. But why did he look cute being excited? Oh, focus, Astrid. Aiden's idea was already paying off, because Mason took me into the warehouse through a keycard he kept in his jacket. Noted. But inside no tigers. Show me what you got. And what he had was pathetic. Mason got tired after 2 tiny punches. You're going to need more focus if you want to defend yourself. Yeah, I know. Mom tried to teach me how to fight once. I got 1 punch in, and she spent 3 hours telling me everything I did wrong for 1 punch. She was right. I should just give up. No, Mason. You have what it takes. You just have to believe in yourself. You got this. He got back up more confident than before. Sure, he wasn't perfect by the end of the day, but he had thrown some solid hits. He even hugged me. Thank you for believing in me. Anytime. Hey, my mom wants you to come with me to her zoo tomorrow. This was the first big lead I had in weeks. But when we pulled up, a protesting group of animal lovers blocked the entrance. They had signs accusing Mason's mom of animal cruelty. Mason instantly turned the car around. He didn't speak for the whole drive back. He seemed embarrassed. We got back into Mason's place, and he looked really sad. So I grabbed his hand, and my heart fluttered a bit. Is everything okay? I have to be honest with you. My mom didn't actually order you to come to the zoo with me. I like you, and I was worried you'd say no. You're the strongest, most beautiful girl I've ever met. Thanks. My mom's been accused of some bad stuff. None of it is true, but I understand if you don't want to be with me. Mason, I work for your mom, and I don't want her to get the wrong idea. I had to wrap this mission up as soon as possible. I knew Aiden said I could hurt him, but that doesn't mean I should. Besides, I actually started to like him. That night, when Mason was asleep, I snuck into his room and stole his keycard from his jacket. I entered the warehouse, but a hand grabbed me and turned me around. It was Mason. Astrid, how did you get my keycard? You gave me this. What? When? I panicked, grabbed his shirt, and kissed him as hard as I could. Mason. Changed my mind. I am madly in love with you. I knew it. I guess I distracted him well because he only said, I have a surprise for you tomorrow. The next day, I was shocked to see a helicopter waiting for us. Mason flew us up to have the most romantic dinner of my life. On top of a frozen mountain. I had the chef make you one of everything, since I wasn't sure what your favorite was. He held out a rose like the absolute gentleman I realized he was. I really have to pee. I called Aiden, but he was totally aloof. For all we know, those tigers could be coats by now due to your puppy love routine. I'm just doing what you told me to do. Well, do it better. You're running out of time. The next morning I woke up with a horrible cold, probably from the snow. And Mason was sitting on the edge of my bed, staring at me like I was an art exhibit. I should have brought you a coat too. This is all my fault. Let me take care of you. And before I could say anything, Mason sprang into action. Wow, you're really good at this. I love nursing things back to health. Did you know I always wanted to be a vet? No way. Way. I love animals so much. Their cute little faces, they're the best. I would never do anything to hurt them. You can still be a vet if you want. You don't understand. After my dad left us, there was only Mom, so I couldn't really say no to her. She wanted me to follow in her footsteps, in her business, and when she asked what kind of business it was, she added one condition. If I saw, would I promise to keep it a secret? He nodded. This was my chance. Mason pulled me out of bed and led me into the warehouse, swiping a key card to open a hidden door behind a punching mat. Shoo, he whispered. Mom can't know I brought you here. We walked down a secret staircase into a massive pen where I was suddenly face to face with real tigers. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Instinct kicked in, and I snapped a photo and sent it to Aiden before I could stop myself. Gotcha, he replied. Hey, you can't do that, Mason said, startled. Sorry, just instinct. Just don't send anything to anyone, he warned. My mom is protecting these endangered animals from being experimented on. I hesitated. That's what she told me. Was I sure? Had I just made a huge mistake? Maybe Mason's mom wasn't the Cruella de Vil I'd been led to believe. Gotta pee again, I lied, bolting up the stairs and calling Aiden instead. Great job, Astrid, he said. The special agents are on their way because of you. Tell the police to stay put, I interrupted. Carla is protecting the tigers, not turning them into coats. She's lying to you, Astrid. Before I could respond, two strong hands grabbed me from behind. It was Carla. I knew I never should have hired you, she hissed. Mom, let go of my girlfriend. Mason shouted from the corner, looking devastated. Girlfriend? Carla sneered. This little double agent just called the cops on Mommy's operation. Astrid, you what? I can explain, I pleaded. Mason, your mom wanted to turn the tigers into coats, not save them. Mom, is this true? The look on Carla's face said everything. Suddenly, the military stormed in, bursting through the warehouse doors. They arrested Carla and safely rounded up all the tigers. And then, a familiar arm wrapped around me. "Great work, Astrid," Aiden said. "It takes a lot to pretend to fall in love with someone just to get information out of them. You've earned this." He handed me a suitcase filled with cash. I turned around, and there was Mason staring at me. Aiden got to him first. "She's come a long way from that stupid girl at the bank, hasn't she?" "That was you?" Mason asked, eyes wide. "I knew you looked familiar." "Mason, wait, it's not what you think." "I can't believe I trusted you, Astrid," he said, voice shaking. "I gave you my heart, and you locked my mom up." "Mason, I'm sorry, I like you." "Yeah, right. You think I believe you after you just lied to my face for months?" Then he was gone. Goodbye, Astrid. Forever. I couldn't blame him for blowing up, but he didn't realize that somewhere along the way, I had actually fallen for him. The next week, Aiden asked me out. This was everything I thought I wanted. Yet why did I feel so sad about Mason? He took me out on a rowboat again. This time he leaned in and said, "The president wants to hire you as a full-time secret agent, if you want." I smiled weakly. "I thought you were going to tell me you loved me." "Oh, Astrid," he sighed. "I do love you, just not in that way. Didn't you know? Your brother and I are a couple." I was genuinely happy for them, but also a little embarrassed. All those years of crushing on Aiden. Clearly I wasn't his type. "So, what's it going to be?" "You want the job." Politely declined. Going undercover just wasn't worth hurting someone I truly cared about. I texted Mason a novel of an apology, but he blocked my number. Guess I deserved it. A few years later, I was walking in the park when I found a hurt baby bird. Gently cradling it in my hands, I asked for directions to the best animal hospital in town. When I arrived, I was shocked to see Mason tending to a sick hamster. My heart raced. Had been too long. I pushed the door open. He looked up just for a second and our eyes met. The world seemed to fade away for a moment. Reality set back in quickly. "I found this little one," I said softly, holding out the bird. "I thought you'd be able to help. I heard you're the best in town." Mason smiled faintly. Always the hero. As we looked at each other, the weight of our past felt both heavy and distant. "I'm sorry, Mason," I whispered. "Not just for how things ended, but for everything." "It hurt, Astrid," he said quietly. "Not just what happened with my mother, but thinking that everything between us was just an act." "It wasn't," I said. "Not all of it. Not the moments that truly mattered." Mason took a deep breath, then gently released the bird into the air. Flew off free. "Second chances are rare," he said. "But I believe everyone deserves one. Even someone like me." He reached out and brushed a tear from my cheek with his thumb. "Especially someone like you." In that moment the room felt lighter. We both felt hopeful. We knew there were tough times ahead, but together it felt like we could do anything.